So every time you looked up Fox News, they had lots to say about Biden Harris. They were constantly talking about they were too old, incompetent, slow, all the phrases that they use. But it's amazing how their tune just changes when the incompetence of Donald Trump and his MAGA minions is exposed. This whole signal conversation shows you exactly where these idiots stand. So listen to first of all, we're going to go to Jesse B. Waters. The resident Fox News idiot, Jesse B. Waters. Listen to his brilliant analysis.
Did you ever try to start a group text? You're adding people and you accidentally add the wrong person. All of a sudden, your Aunt Mary knows all your raunchy plans for the bachelor party. Well, that kind of happened today with the Trump administration. Mike Waltz was putting together a group chat on Signal, an encrypted app, with the Secretary of Defense, the VP, and a bunch of other national security officials to collaborate on whether to strike Iranian proxies in Yemen who keep firing missiles and shutting down shipping. Well, National Security Advisor Mike Waltz accidentally added a reporter to the group text, and not a good reporter. Jeffrey Goldberg from The Atlantic, one of the biggest hoax artists around. Well, he heard some things he probably shouldn't have, but could have been a wee bit of a security breach. But it's not like they homebrewed a server and then bleached it or kept classified documents in their garages next to their Corvette. I'm sure it won't happen again.
A wee bit of a security breach. Really? Okay, interesting. Here is the biggest Trump ass kisser of them all, Sean Hannity.
Instead, they are obsessed with an accidentally leaked text, a chain from Trump cabinet officials who are debating the merits of military strikes in Yemen. So the very people that covered up their president's severe cognitive decline, lied about wide open borders, both of which are clear and present dangers to our country, now want you to believe that they actually give a damn and care about national security. More feigned, phony outrage. This is now the scandal of the week that you will see nonstop, 24/7, that nobody will care about. Now, by the way, it's not only a smear, but it's waged by the left. That's all they've got, and their bingo cards.
So, feigned, phony outrage. I'm sorry, is this the same network that found themselves in a hissy fit because President Barack Obama wore a tan suit? Really? Really? Y'all will lecture somebody? Okay, the dumbest group of them all has to be Fox and Friends. Take your pick, the weekday or the weekend version. So Lawrence B. Jones, the brother, he's on there, and he has some thoughts about it. And look, he ain't the brightest bulb in the dark room either, just dumb stuff. So I'm just gonna give y'all just a sample of just the stupid stuff they had to say. Just roll it.
The White House says President Trump is standing by his team as the National Security Council confirms that the message thread reported appears to be authentic. They are now investigating how the journalist's number was added to that chain. Guys.
Well, thank you very much, Brooke. Well, I read the article, and it says that somebody identifying themselves as Mike Waltz added that person. I was talking to somebody in federal law enforcement last night, and they said that just based on having read the Atlantic article, what was revealed was classified and top secret. And this person has been down in D.C. for many years, has never heard of government officials at that level using Signal for stuff like that. And you know, Kayleigh, having been in the White House, there are certain top secret gizmos and venues that they use, and you don't use a commercial app that can be hacked.
Yeah, there's a channel that you're supposed to stay on with that kind of information. Now, I heard someone on CNN suggesting maybe there were Signal apps added to government devices somehow. All that remains to be seen, but I imagine the White House press shop would have gotten that information out by now if that were the case. Look, this was an obvious mistake, obviously. I will say, as my dad says, when you eat crow, you got to eat it hot. And the National Security Council ate it while it was hot. They did not try to deny this. They came out. They said this appears to be authentic. Good on them. The detail I'm wondering about is the Jeffrey Goldberg detail about war plans. He says there were operational details, but he did not want to share them because it would be compromising. I don't trust Jeffrey Goldberg. The last time I sat on the couch with you guys, he had the ridiculous story about Vanessa Guillen. He had the suckers and losers.
You don't trust Jeffrey Goldberg, but clearly somebody trusted Jeffrey Goldberg to add him to a group chat. And How about we don't trust Marco Rubio? We don't trust Pete Hegseth. We don't trust Mike Waltz. We don't trust John Ratcliffe. Okay, a little bit more of their stupidity. Keep going.
Or plans. He says there were operational details, but he did not want to share them because it would be compromising. I don't trust Jeffrey Goldberg. The last time I sat on the couch with you guys, he had the ridiculous story about Vanessa Guillen. He had the suckers and losers. He is not a credible reporter. And how does this most horrific of all reporters in Washington, D.C., get added to your text chain? There are a lot of questions.
So that's literally my only question. As it relates to government officials using Signal, they all use it. They're not supposed to, but they use it.
But not for top secret stuff.
They use it. CIA, every single intelligence agency uses Signal. I know that for a fact. I talk to them on Signal. They're sources of mine. They all use Signal. It is the best way and the most secure way to get information out. And that's why a lot of journalists use it as well. They don't want it, they're not supposed to do it, but they do it anyway. I don't understand how he got on this chain, especially when you add someone to Signal, there's an alert that shows you that someone else, if you don't have their contact, there's someone that's new that's been added to it. While all of those people that were on that chain didn't say who is this person that's on the chain that wasn't saved in their contact, I don't know. They need to get to the bottom of that. Yeah. Also, I'm curious, whoever did end up adding him, why are you communicating with this guy?
Yeah.
You should not be communicating with her. This is not the person to be communicating with.
Right. It's a highly...
Okay. Who the fuck is communicating with you? Why would they communicate with you? You're a hack. Okay, you're a joke. No, you're not a real journalist, Lawrence. You're not. You just sat there and said, oh, I communicate with these people. They shouldn't. No, Lawrence, that's a lie. People can actually, you can be in government and communicate on Signal. The law says that if you're doing official business, talking to you ain't official. So you have no idea what the hell you're talking about. So wasting any airtime on Lawrence Jones is truly a waste of time. But the biggest dummy has got to be Will Cain. I mean, first of all, this is somebody, listen, y'all, I used to debate Will Cain on CNN. I mean, you know, Will, everybody know the best thing about Will, he got a nice head of hair. That's it. But that ain't strong. It's not, okay? It's not, okay? Real weak. This is what this fool had to say yesterday. Now, I told y'all, if you think Sean Hannity kiss ass, if you think that Jesse Waters kiss ass, oh no, can't nobody at Fox News on this topic talk the ass kissing of Will Cain. This is what he had to say, y'all, when this story broke yesterday. Oh my God, just roll it.
All right, on to another big story today out of The Atlantic, where their editor-in-chief, Jeffrey Goldberg, has reported that he was accidentally sent sensitive information about military strikes in Yemen. The messages come from 18 national security officials. They were sent through the encryption app Signal, and there are indications that they appear to be authentic. I think there are two takeaways from this story as of what we know today. One, it is incredibly concerning that sensitive information would be sent with a journalist included in the thread. We can speculate, and there is reasonable, fair expectation that somebody like Jeffrey Goldberg was accidentally included under his initials, JG, when who was meant to be included was a trade chief, Jameson Greer. But if it was accidental, and we'll wait to see if this was accidental, it is incredibly concerning that this information would be shared over the Signal app with a journalist included. But the bigger takeaway for me is it's an insight, a transparent insight into the thought process and dialogue of our national leaders. If you look at the actual content of what was reported, if you look at how they discuss potential strikes on Houthis in Yemen, what you will see is dialogue between Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, National Security Advisor Mike Waltz, Stephen Miller, Tulsi Gabbard, and many more in a very collaborative, open, honest, team-based attempt to come to the right decision after years of secrecy and incompetence. If you read the content of these messages, I think you'll come away proud that these are the leaders making these decisions in America.
That's what your dumb ass got out of that? Oh my God, look how collaborative, how they communicated back and forth. Y'all, Will Cain's supposed to be a lawyer. Supposed to be. At no time did he ever even bring up, shit might be illegal. Just, oh my God, look how collaborative and how they communicated, they shared. Well, I'm sorry, was this a therapy session? Was this a marriage counseling session? Well, what the hell is he describing? Now, listen to this fool today. This is, here we go.
But that was not a serious mistake, putting American lives into jeopardy. And I think that your side is doing this to score political points, the first political points they've been able to accomplish in 2 months.
Well, what we're talking about here, and I've spent a decade now watching how our intelligence community communicates with the warfighter. So I am not going to listen to you tell me that this is about a partisan advantage. It is a mistake, and yes, it's a very serious mistake. Because if you make a mistake in Social Security and grandma doesn't get a phone call through, that's bad. But there is not zero risk that our young men and women in uniform, the ones who flew those F-35s and F-18s,
Congressman, how was an American life put into jeopardy?
We will find
Congressman,
out.
how? Fine, you've made a claim. Tell me how an American life was put into jeopardy.
Because in an insecure channel, in what was acknowledged as a mistake before, whether it was a day or 2 hours or 5 hours, in a signal chat that we know. Do you want an answer to your question? In a signal chat that we know that the Russians could intercept, they might have told the Houthis in an hour. And in half an hour, they're moving their anti-aircraft stuff around. It is by the grace of God that we don't have dead pilots or sunken ships right now. And I will tell you, whether it's a big mistake or a small mistake, to then go and attack Jeffrey Goldberg, without whom we wouldn't even know about this mistake, it's got to make...
Including Jeffrey Goldberg was the mistake. Including Jeffrey Goldberg was the mistake.
And get any military officer on your show right now, Will. Get any military officer serving right now, any intelligence officer, and they will tell you that Jeffrey Goldberg was the cherry on top of using an insecure channel in advance to discuss military plans.
I'm not going to argue, Congressman. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to argue that no mistake was made. And I'm not going to argue that Signal is the perfectly appropriate app to have this conversation. What I am going to argue with you is that you are hyperbolically taking this over the top, yes, absolutely, for partisan points, in order to score in the first time in 2 months. Don't do it on Signal. I agree. Don't do it on Signal.
Well,
but nobody's live.
You know what? Here's the
CIA
thing.
director.
You are the one who is making this into a partisan issue. And we are talking about the lives of our young men and women. And it makes me want to throw up to hear you turn this into a partisan issue when we are talking about the lives of our airmen and Marines and sailors. You just need to stop this. You cannot run a segment cheering Medal of Honor winners, many of whom win posthumously, and
you know what I could run a segment on, Congressman?
This mistake is about partisan advantage.
It is. And I can run that segment, and I'm doing it with you right now, and I'll tell you something else. This isn't an administration that watched as 13 Marines died or spilled secrets to the Chinese Communist Party or did any of the other things that we just watched. It's hard to take you seriously, or that Jeffrey Goldberg is the hero in this story.
It's actually hard to take you seriously, Will Cain. And that's why you've truly earned this award from those of us here at Roland Martin Unfiltered and the Black Star Network.
The Golden Trump MAGA Ass-Kissing Award, honoring a lifetime of exceptional flattery and unwavering dedication to ass-kissing excellence, awarded to Fox News' Will Cain. For unparalleled commitment to the fine art of sycophancy, this prestigious honor recognizes those who have bent over backward, perfected the art of empty praise, and elevated brown-nosing to an Olympic-level sport. From his relentless nodding in agreement to his uncanny ability to compliment even the most questionable decisions, Will Cain has demonstrated an unwavering devotion to the craft of kissing ass. His lips have graced the ass of twice impeached criminally convicted felon-in-chief Don the Con Trump with such finesse that even history itself must pause in admiration. May this Golden Trump MAGA Ass-Kissing Award serve as a symbol of Will Cain's lifelong achievement of puckering up and kissing the ass of a wannabe dictator, and ensuring his legacy of loyalty remains forever unchapped.
Congratulations, Will. You truly earned that award. Let me now go to my panel. Your thoughts, Randy?
Congratulations to him. Very well earned. Very well earned. He has, I think, worked hard for it. His lips should be chapped by all the ass kissing he's done. And I hope that all the ass kissing he's done gets him exactly what he wants in life and what he deserves.
Mustafa.
James Baldwin said, "I can't believe what you say because I see what you do." There just needs to be some real parity in how we are approaching national security issues, intelligence issues. It's significant, whether it's small or large. There can be huge impacts. So, I just want to see folks get serious. I want to see folks also fix whatever the gaps are. And, folks are going to live their lives in both in front of the camera and behind the camera how they do. Folks just need to be able to understand the biases that people often bring and how those biases often don't help the everyday person to understand what's really playing out.
See, Joe, I can't take people like Will Cain seriously, or Sean Hannity, or Jesse Waters, or any of them. All right? These are the people, they went ad nauseum about Hillary Clinton and her emails. And now it's like, oh, this is just a mistake. It's just a simple mistake. No, I can't take them seriously. And they should be called out because, see, they love talking about everybody else. They love trashing everybody else. But no, they have earned this. Will has earned this because that ass kissing yesterday. And then, well, I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about whether they should have been on Signal. Well, that's the whole damn point.
Right.
So I love it how I'm not going to talk about what the thing is, so I'm going to focus on something that ain't the thing.
Yeah, it's the hypocrisy is crazy, but there is a Republican MAGA echo chamber that they filter everything through. And we've gotten to the place where people look at the result that they're looking for and then just decide to disregard facts if they're not consistent with the result. And I think that's why we have to press on this and continue to keep the foot on the gas related to these issues, because underlying all of this, I think we're going to be able to continue to connect the dots and keep bringing it back home to the notion that, hey, these folks lie, they don't tell the truth, and these folks help them to not tell the truth, and they help to cover up the truth. Because when the truth does not benefit them. And so we have to continue to trudge along that road and help people understand why this is important. If we don't help folks understand why this is important, then frankly, it's a loss, because at the end of the day, truth is important. Facts are important, and hypocrisy has to be pointed out, and it has to be emphasized, because it's this same hypocrisy that's leading to things that are happening from a policy standpoint that have the potential to negatively affect millions and millions of Americans. And we have to be able to simply and concisely connect the dots, and this is part of that discussion.
It is. It really is. But you know what? I'm sorry. That video was so delicious and so delightful that I must see it again. So here we go.
The Golden Trump MAGA Ass Kissing Award, honoring a lifetime of exceptional flattery and unwavering dedication to ass-kissing excellence, awarded to Fox News' Will Cain. For unparalleled commitment to the fine art of sycophancy, this prestigious honor recognizes those who have bent over backward, perfected the art of empty praise, and elevated brown nosing to an Olympic-level sport. From his relentless nodding in agreement to his uncanny ability to compliment even the most questionable decisions, Will Cain has demonstrated an unwavering devotion to the craft of kissing ass. His lips have graced the ass of twice-impeached criminally convicted felon-in-chief Don the Con Trump with such finesse that even history itself must pause in admiration. May this Golden Trump MAGA Ass Kissing Award serve as a symbol of Will Cain's lifelong achievement of puckering up and kissing the ass of a wannabe dictator, and ensuring his legacy of loyalty remains forever unchapped.
You know what? That might actually end up becoming an award of the week because it's going to be a whole lot of that over the next 4 years.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. The window to invest in Fanbase is closing. We've raised over $10.6 million of our $17 million goal. That means there's room for less than 6,370 people to invest in Fanbase for the average amount. The minimum to invest in Fanbase right now is $399. That makes you an owner in Fanbase today. Go to startengine.com/fanbase to invest. Why? Because current social apps have taken advantage of users for far too long, with content suppression, shadow banning, harmful racist content, and no real tools for monetization and equity. Fanbase has over 1.4 million users and counting, allowing anyone to reach all their following and monetize their content from day one. Social media is the new TV, and whoever owns the apps that distribute that content have the opportunity to own potential billion-dollar companies. While big platforms with uncertain futures are failing to serve their users, Fanbase is stepping up to fill the gap. Don't wait until it's too late. Invest now, invest for yourself and your future. Go to startengine.com/fanbase and own the next generation of social media.